And welcome back, and it's the Corbett Higher Plus 5 a day, and let's go with the first question. Right, so it looks like a probability question. We have we have 4 blue socks and 6 black socks. Now, annoyingly, that both begins with B, so I'm going to write blue is 4 and black is 6. Our inner drawer, Andrew takes out 2 socks at random, so it's a conditional question because the first sock affects the next sock. Work out the probability that Andrew takes out 2 socks that are different colours. So in other words, I need to work out the probability of a blue and a black, and then I need to add on the probability of a black and a blue. And they sound like the same thing, but of course it's the order in which I've picked them. They are going to be the same probability, by the way, but I'm going to show you how to do that anyway. So blue and black is going to be 4 out of the 10 socks available times by 6 divided by the 9 remaining socks. So that's the probability of getting a blue and a black. And the probability of getting a black and a blue is 6 divided by the 10 socks available, multiplied by 4 divided by the 9 remaining socks. And you'll notice that gives me the same number, which is 4 times 6, which is 24 over 90, plus 24 over 90, which is going to give me 48 over 90. Now, you can simplify this down, simplify it down to 8 over 15, but probability, it's the one area where you don't have to simplify, so not too bad. I say 48 over 90 or 8 over 15, both are fine. Next question. Okay, good. Couple of sketchy questions. So this is just checking your understanding. That said, the point of the question is sketching, so you want to do this quite well. So my first sketch is going to show the asymptotes, and it's going to show approaches but does not touch the axis. Again, you want to make sure you're showing that to be true. So for example, something that bends over or something that's nowhere near the curve, that will not get you the marks. So you can see I clearly understand, and actually even here, I'm going to make this even better. I'm going to make sure it approaches but does not touch and does not curl away from the axis. So that's the sketch of 1 over x. The sketch of 4 over x has one main detail, and that's it goes to the point 1, because anything to the power of 0 is always 1. So therefore, again, asymptote here, going through the axis at the y-axis at 1, and then carries on up exponentially, hence the point of the curve. Next question. Oh, lots of words here. Okay, let's take this one carefully. Ornaments A and B are mathematically similar. Well, that seems relevant. They are solid and both made from copper and zinc. Ornament A has a height of 5, volume. Ornament B, height 18. The ornament made from copper and zinc in the ratio 3 to 2. Wow, okay, let's do this very carefully. Work out the difference in the mass between ornament A and ornament B. Okay, I mean, this would be like a 8-mark question in the exam, I think. This is a difficult question. Okay, let's go through step by step. So let's think about the length and the area and the volume scale factors first of all for ornament A and ornament B. So it tells me ornament A has a height of 5, so that's one of my lengths, and a volume of 30. So far, so good. Ornament B has a height of 18. So in other words, and they haven't made even the scale factor nice, have they? So in other words, my scale factor is going to be 18 over 5, which means my volume scale factor is 18 over 5 cubed, which I won't work out because that's just going to be a really big number. Then what am I doing? So then I'm working out the ornaments are made from copper and zinc in the ratio 3 to 2. The density of copper is this, the density of zinc is this. Work out the difference in mass. Okay, I've got the volumes. I'm then going to remember that density equals mass over volume, which means that mass equals density times volume. Okay, so for the next part of my question, I need to think about how to bring in this bit here where I work out the mass based on the density. Now, the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to concentrate on ornament A for a second, and then I'll do the scaling later. So for ornament A, its volume is equal to 30. Then its mass, now it's 3 to 2 copper, if I'm going to write this down so you can see. So it's 3 to 2 copper to zinc. So in other words, it is 3/5 copper and 2/5 zinc in terms of its volume that's made up. So therefore the mass of A, so I'm going to write this down. So the mass of A is going to be 30 times the amount that is copper times the density of copper, which is 8.96. Plus the volume of A times by the amount that is zinc times by the density of zinc, which is 7.13. Now, get a calculator out quickly and work out both of those things. So the first one, so 30 times 3/5, again, fraction button on a calculator, be careful, times 8.96 is going to give me 161.28. And that's grams equivalent. And then in zinc, it's 30 times 2/5, so 2/5, times 7.13, which is going to give me 85.56. And then if I add these numbers up, so add 161.28, that's going to give me a total mass for ornament A of 246.84. Now, the thing that makes this question clever is, if you think about it, because I'm scaling up the volume, the mass is going to scale up by the same amount. So I can therefore say the mass of B is going to be 246.84 times by 18/5 cubed. And that's going to be, now again, this is a bit of a calculator exercise, but again, make sure you can get the numbers on your calculator. So multiply by 18/5 all cubed is going to give me 11516.57. And then what does the question want? The question wants the difference between these two. So I'm going to do, I'm zooming out a little bit. So I'm going to do number 1 minus number 2. So I'm doing 11516.57 minus 246.84. And that gives me minus 246.84. And that gives me 11269. So I'm going to call it, actually no, let's write the whole thing down. So 11269.73 grams, just to add that in. Wow, what a question. Again, go through that again, because it's a difficult question. It involves you understanding the idea that if I scale something up, the word similar is really important here. So if I scale something up, the mass is going to scale up by the volume. So all I had to do, and I say all, not an easy question, is I had to work out the volume scale factor, work out the mass of the smaller one using the relative ratios of copper and zinc, then just scale that one up. Usual thing, just like, subscribe, and I'll see you for tomorrow's video. Thanks all.